What is legal? Because it's a new thing. Not everyone knows. Because we're in the domain, we probably know, but not everyone knows. Security measures. How to choose our password. How to choose when we access our online system. What about the cookies? How not to write our password somewhere. So all those we have to have some campaign on TV and at school, become part of our life. The system alone not going to save us. We have to have education, public education about security. Research and development. As you know, the hackers or the cyber soldiers, they are not the simple people anymore. They have a lot of money because they are stealing a lot of money. They're stealing a lot of credit card money, stealing online. So they are very powerful. They use technology with 660 long bit key, as I said. So we have to invest in this area. We have to invest, we have to develop, and we have to have the upper hand. Because if the hackers and the attackers, they have the upper hand, it's gone. So we need time and resources to invest. So this is one of the activities of computer forensics. You don't just need to use whatever tools available. We have to just, because the hackers, they have new tools, new development, so we have to develop a solution for existing and new emerging problems. So, and we have at the same time to satisfy the legal system. It's not easy. Because sometimes if you use very sophisticated tools, the judge say, maybe, how do we know this system? Because the system, who built the system? Companies. So who knows, maybe the company inside the system, they change something. I'm going to talk about Vista soon. Now, and we have to develop new policies. For example, in Saudi Arabia, in this country, do we have right now policies at the level of the, the legal system? How to accept e-evidence? We have to have policies, and we have to learn the policies. The lawyer, they have to be aware. The forensic computer professional too. Hardware and tools. We have, as you can see, for example, usually a simple example, we get to the criminal or suspect hard drive, we get it because that's what we're interested in, and then link it to some, hardware, and we have some tool. In case is very popular, and the one I just presented at the beginning, also another one. So this is how we, because we have to, as I said, not to just look for existing file. We have to go for deleted file. We have to have some specific tool that can link again the deleted file with the address and the name. So it's a big job and lengthy one. Rules, as I said, advice, minimal handling of the original. We don't have to change a lot. We have to be careful because we should never change anything, but sometimes we need to, so keep it minimal. Make exact copy, bitmap copy, and work on the copy. Something happened to it, we make another copy. Account for any change. If you change something, you have to be accountable. The judge will ask you why you changed this, what is the reason, etc. Comply with the rules of evidence. This is, we have to focus, as I said, on the e-evidence more than presentation. Like, I'm very good at presentation, but that doesn't work. You have to be professional and focus on the e-evidence. Don't exceed your knowledge. This is very important. Imagine I'm a computer forensic expert and started to identify, preserve, and analyze. And I reach a point that I don't know anymore. There's some problem here. Never go on. Just stop and seek someone who have more knowledge than you. Because if you do something you're not familiar with, the judge will ask you how you did this, why you did this, what kind of knowledge. So you have to be careful. The whole case will be ruled out. Okay, that's a very important thing. What's the issues we have? We have, as I said, we have to have two knowledge as a computer forensic expert, technology and law. And we have to keep up with the technology because the hacker, they are very strong. Satisfy the judicial system because, every country has different one. And with the technology and the big hard disk, etc. Imagine like a huge hard disk, it's a very lengthy process. With the new functionality, with a new operating system or the existing operating system, so we have to keep up with all those issues. I talked about this already. Encryption, I talk about it, and pedophile. Conclusion one, with the advent of technology and increase of technology-based crime, forensic computing must have full support from government and organization. Of course, if we don't have this support, we're not gonna prevail. And organization, not only the concern about the government, the businesses. You know, businesses, they can spy on businesses. If you read the news about company, spy on another company, try to get some data. So we have to have the support from everyone. And we have to be supported by the legal system. For example, some legal system, I don't accept e-evidence. So what can you do? So very important to have collaboration and support from different organizations. As you know, as maybe you read, Saudi Arabia was number 9 in the receiving attack. But I believe most of the attack coming from overseas. How we can identify someone? For example, imagine a hacker in Saudi Arabia. They hack, we know, with forensic computing tool, we can identify the IP address. From the IP address, we don't have all the data. We have to talk to the ISP and say, this IP address, that time, because you know, we have dynamic IP address too, who was using? So we have the address, the name. Imagine this is overseas organization. So we have to have international, we have to have Interpol and something to just find and identify the attackers. But the cyber war, like, they can try always to just, you know, hide their identity and make look like another person attacked. So we'll talk about this later. So here I would like just to switch to video. Now we finish the forensic computing. I'm going to talk about cyber warfare because it's so much important and critical. So let's see those two videos.
According to U.S. intelligence officials, China is the principal attacker. Every day, they say, hackers are trying to get into the systems that keep the... America's computer systems are under attack every day. And according to U.S. intelligence officials, China is the principal attacker. Every day, they say, hackers are trying to get into the systems that keep the economy running, that allow people to communicate, that give the military its ability to operate in all corners of the world. And they say, the U.S. government is so concerned, it's creating a new strategy to fight the new cyber war. Our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, is here. Brian.
Charlie, after a series of high-level meetings this month, the White House is now preparing a new initiative to protect against what it fears could be a crippling attack against this country by computer from overseas, and in particular from China. White House advisors say it was this June in Washington when the alarm bells really went off. Chinese hackers got into the unclassified computers of Secretary of Defense Robert Gates.
The intelligence community has come to the recognition that China and other foreign governments have free run of American computer networks.
The concern is that the attacks could shut down power grids, communication systems, and banking with just a few keystrokes from Beijing.
Basically, we would find the lights go out, the dial tones stop, and we have no ability to access our money.
Internet security companies such as Akamai in Boston now track thousands of attacks against U.S. government and corporate computer systems every day.
It would not be a good situation for us if we were to enter a cyber war today. What you're seeing behind me...
On most days, like today, the single biggest source of attacks is China.
A Chinese general has talked about how they would reach out through cyberspace and turn off the American electric power grid, before any conflict with the United States.
In addition to long-distance hacking, U.S. experts are also concerned that Chinese-made computer equipment has been sabotaged in ways that are undetectable, the so-called Trojan horse attack.
My fear is that there are many Trojan horses, many pieces of malicious code in a large number of our critical systems, and that these are just waiting to be activated through some trigger at some time.
Asked about China's role earlier this month, President Bush said he is fully aware of the attacks and the country's computer vulnerabilities.
In terms of whether or not I'll bring this up to countries that we suspect from which there may have been an attack, I may.
China has denied its military hacked into U.S. computers, but U.S. officials say they have tracked so many thousands of attacks that there is no way they could occur without official approval, given China's tight control of the internet use there, Charlie.
All right, Brian.
There's another one, the attack on Estonia. It's a real life attack. So that's happened in 2007, and that's really